everybody, and welcome to what is going to be my first unboxing video. I've actually never done an unboxing video. It's not something I usually even think of doing, actually. I know some people enjoy them, but one product that I saw at NAMM this year was a looper pedal, but it's much more than a looper pedal. It's by a company called Singular Sound, and it's called their Aeros Loop Studio. I was really intrigued by it, and I've always wanted to get it's kind of more of a full-featured looper. Obviously, the Line 6 Helix has a really great looper in it that's going to do, you know, a lot of great things for some folks who want some basic looping abilities. One thing I do a lot is I'll do performances with backing tracks of my own original material. I really enjoy doing that, and I'm always carrying around, you know, either a phone or some sort of. I have just a dedicated MP3 player, you know, that I'll feed those off of. But it's always a matter of kind of poking around. So I always wanted something that would fit on a pedal board that I could load the backing tracks into. And from what my research shows me, this should do that among many other things. So let's do this. Here's the box that came in just a couple days ago. I'm gonna open this up and see what we have and see if this lives up to all the hype. Just a little side point, I'm not going to actually be plugging this in today. This is just to show you guys the unit, and we'll go online and we'll talk a little bit about what it can and can't do to the best of my knowledge. So what we have here, we have a little packing slip. I'll put that aside. Something else comes in here is the Beat Buddy sync breakout cable. Singular Sound also makes a product called the Beat Buddy, which is kind of like a pedal drum machine from what I understand. Don't really know much about it, but it integrates beautifully with the Aeros looper. So here inside is the box. I'll throw that box aside. The Aeros Loop Studio. Pretty interesting. Very nice box. Beautiful. Yeah. Okay, nothing to cut on that. So let me just push the keyboard back. Box just slides open as such. And what do we have in here? It's a warranty card on one side and a card when using your Aeros for the first time, full manual online. So they're just kind of showing a few things here. Number one, connect to Wi-Fi. So that's one really cool feature. It has Wi-Fi built into it, which is great for updates without having to plug it into USB or worry about, you know, it connecting to your computer and whatnot. So Wi-Fi built right in, really interesting. You can check for the updates right there, as it says, number 2. And they really recommend that as soon as you get it, you do any updates that are available. They're constantly adding features and whatnot. And there's a lot of new features planned for this as well. Number 3, it says learn the basics. So there's a quick start guide right here. And this is a touchscreen, by the way. Really interesting stuff. And then it says play, you know, there's your Loop Studio button. So nice little card there that comes with it. Nice little foam on the top. There we go. So what we have is our AC adapter. I'm just looking at the screen here. What is the power requirements for this? 9 volts, center negative, 360 milliamp power supply included. So this is going to be easy to power from anything like, you know, probably one spot or, you know, any of these traditional sort of pedal powers. So there's the unit. There's the rest of our box there. So nicely wrapped up, as we can see. Let's get into the plastic here. And there it is. Very nice, very solid construction. Buttons feel really good. So what do we have on here? Well, on the front we have a play and stop all button. So that's going to be how you start and stop your loops, I'm imagining. The functionality of these 3 buttons is actually going to come up on the touch screen to tell you what each is used for, and we'll take a look at that. And this is a volume control that we can roll with our foot. So there's a built-in mixer in this that if you tap over to the mixer page, you can actually lower and raise the volumes of your different tracks and parts in the loops. Really interesting stuff. We have an on-off switch on the side. On this side, it accepts SD cards, right? So something like so is going to just slide right in there, and we can have our backing tracks or save our loops onto an SD card. There is built-in memory, but it expands up to a ridiculous amount. And again, we'll look at some of those details. Here we have aux ins, audio ins, stereo in and stereo out. We have a a mini USB port right here, okay? Or sorry, a micro USB port. So there's our stereo ins and outs. On the back, we have a MIDI out and a MIDI in, expression pedal in, a left and right in, left being the mono, and a left and right out. All right, so that's it. Very basic, very simple, really solid feel to it. Some rubber feet on the bottom. Great, great solid construction. Really, really happy with that. Let's do this. Let's roll over to the website and take a look. So here we have the webpage. Aeros Loop Studio, 6-track stereo looper pedal with touch-enabled screen, hands-free mixing, and simultaneous parallel and sequential looping. Price of $5.99 US. That's the street price on it, ordering direct from Singular Sound. It's not cheap, but then again, any really sort of full function looper pedals I find never really have been cheap. So you are paying a bit, but this is, keep in mind, it's a Loop Studio. This is almost more like a bit of a DAW. Digital audio workstation built in with a looper pedal, okay? So it says the Aeros Loop Studio includes 3 hours of mono recording time, 1.5 hours. Lots built right in, right, for just basic use. Upgradable to 48 hours when using an SD card. So we can, I'm not sure what the maximum size SD card is, but that's a lot of time, 48 hours, right? Looper pedal includes 2 1/4-inch inputs, 2 1/4-inch outputs, expression pedal support, MIDI in and out, as we've looked at already, stereo aux input, and 1/4-inch stereo aux output. Built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth for over-the-air updates. The Aeros Looper Studio offers a revolutionary looping experience. Right, cool. Okay, read over the product description. Featuring the ability to create 36 unique loops per song, the Aeros Loop Studio goes beyond what's expected of a looper pedal. Add unlimited overdubs for each loop and record up to 48 hours. My understanding is that there's 2 modes. There's 2x2 and 6x6. Okay, so 2x2 mode is the ability to have 2 different parts per song, and each part then can layer 2 different loops, but also with layers on unlimited overdubs on top of each of those loops, if that makes sense. That's my understanding of it. And the 6x6 is 6 separate parts with 6 different sections or loops with unlimited layers. Now, if you really want to get in depth, read the manual. It explains it very well. So it says blurring the lines between traditional loopers and audio workstations, the Aeros Loop Studio allows you to mix your tracks live during performance using the built-in scroll wheel and gives the ability to save and export songs. So if we really record something we really like, it's going to be saved onto our SD card or internal memory, and then we can export it to our computer, and we could even, do a proper mix probably in our DAW. This will let you share your best loops with your fans. Really interesting. 4.3-inch touch-enabled screen and color-coded cues and waveforms. The Aeros Looper will never leave you wondering where you are in the loop. Coming in at 7.8 inches by 5.6 inches, the Aeros lets you add a 6-track stereo looper to any pedal board. So they mentioned talking about the Beat Buddy. I'm not really interested in that feature at this point. So yeah, the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi enabling us to add exciting new features over the air update. So here's the specs here. Quantize your tracks in any time so you're playing freeform mode. Pretty interesting. You can actually set it so that if you're playing to a click, it's going to quantize what you're playing. And if you go look at some of the demo videos that Singular Sound has put up, it's pretty interesting. So even if you're a little loose, it will quantize to the beat, or I guess, I'm not sure exactly if you can change the quantize amount. There's a lot of things I don't know about this. I haven't even plugged it in yet. So 6 parallel tracks and 6 song parts for a total of 36 distinct loops per song, and in an industry first, but also simultaneous, parallel, and sequential looping. Pretty interesting stuff. Unlimited overdubs enable you to create layers and depth in your loops without worrying about restrictions. So that's why I was saying they have tracks and parts. So 6 parallel tracks in a part, and then each track can also have layers. But I think once you lay over top of something, then you're unable to make any changes to that, I believe. But again, if you read, I'm gonna do a much more full-featured video, probably in the near future. I'm not sure when I'm gonna get around to it. I got a lot on my plate lately, but once I get this hooked up and get to play around with it, I wanna do that to share with you guys. Save your loops with the USB port and SD card. 3 hours mono, 1.5 hour stereo recording, and up to 48 hour storage when using an SD card. The sound quality, 32-bit floating point processing, 24-bit recording, professional DACs, less than 1 millisecond latency, and 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz range for studio quality recording. So it sounds like the audio quality is not going to be an issue. Digital drive-through bypass. In addition, Wi-Fi compatibility for the over-the-air updates and exciting to-be-announced features. So they do have a lot of new features planned to come up too. Bluetooth for reasons, I guess stuff's coming in the future. That's what I kind of liked about this, is they're really working on upgrading and adding a lot of great new features. 4 built-in foot switches with our Comfort Plus switch tops, and they're very nice, rounded on the top, nice size, really, really well done. Perfect for playing barefoot or in socks. Built-in scroll wheel for hands-free mixing. So that's what I showed you, the loop volume. MIDI in and out ports, and external expression pedals. So only weighs 2 pounds, 4 ounces. Aluminum construction with chip-resistant black coating. Interesting stuff. And then, you know, they have the full manual and control guide up here, as well as frequently asked questions. See, it's talking about the quantized mode. And it'll answer a lot more than I can at this moment. I just wanted to show you guys that I got it and basically what it does. And if there's anybody out there looking for an amazing looper, like I said, it's not inexpensive, but I think it's going to be well worth it for anybody who's really in need of something that this is capable of doing. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that. A little bit of a different video for me, but I figured I would just draw your attention to it. I'm thinking this is going to go on my board at the end of my HX Stomp board. I'm really excited about it. Actually, it's going to give me the ability to hopefully, I'm hoping it works out as I'm planning, to load my backing tracks on via SD card and then perform to them and even record my performance at studio quality. So one really interesting thing about that is, you know, if I bring something like a video camera out to a performance, record the video of it, I can then take the audio from this, record on the SD card, dump it into my DAW, and even mix it so that the guitar is sitting right in the mix with the backing track, and then sync it up to the video after for a really high quality recording. You know, before I would have had to bring an audio interface and a laptop and then taken an out from that and recorded, you know, to separate tracks, which is fine, but this just makes that really easy. Mount it on your pedal board and also just to use as a more traditional type looper with far more functionality than we're probably used to with looper pedals. Anyways, I hope you guys like it. Check out singularsound.com. It's the Aeros Loop Studio. And if it does everything like I think it's going to, I'm going to be very happy with this product and very impressed with it. So something you guys might want to check out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening to me ramble on about this. Thank you to the guys at Singular Sound for making such a great device. I'll be back soon with some more content. And thanks so much for tuning in. Ciao for now.